Hello, viewers of iRadio. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and I'm the host of the Dawn program. Today, we have a special edition of an exclusive interview with Honorable Lasuba Wongo, who is the National Minister of Federal Affairs. And you know, federalism has been recognized as a popular demand of South Sudanese in the 2018 revitalized peace agreement. So you're going to talk more about the activities of the ministry right now. It's good to have you with us in the studio today, Honorable Wongo. You're welcome to iRadio.
Thank you very much, Akile. I'm so grateful that I'm able to join you today in this discussion on federal system of government in the Republic of South Sudan.
Right. Just something brief to the people of South Sudan and to the public. The revitalized peace agreement mentioned federalism, and it's a very important ministry, but which rarely people talks about because of its sensitivity, and also because of the current situation in the country. You are the right person to tell the public outside there what is the primary responsibility of the Ministry of Federal Affairs and some of its activities that it has been undertaking lately, Honorable Minister?
Well, I actually take note of the issue of sensitivity on the issue regarding federal system of government. I think it's too much to say it is sensitive, but the fact is that this is about governance, and the governance is very crucial in as far as a nation building is concerned, and in as far as peace and stability of a country is concerned, because you actually need to have a structure of a government that devolve powers and resources to the local population. And once the local population have available services that they actually need, and then you will realize peace and stability, and you realize development and the prosperity, as we have always stipulated as our goal for the Republic of South Sudan. So I think the issue of sensitivity is that there are some voices who are concerned about how powers can be devolved to the lower constituent units, like to the states and the local government, which is very crucial, because people, people have been used to maintain power in Juba or in the central government, and that is sensitive to some people. But in general, the population of the South Sudanese are eagerly I've visited a number of states. I've not visited all of them because of the challenge of financial constraints. But the states that I've visited were very positive, very, very positive, and they said this is what they wanted. And I think it is the only system that will bring peace and stability and the prosperity for the Republic of South Sudan.
All right. And so tell us, how far has your ministry reached with the nationwide consultation regarding the federal system of governance in the country as required by the revitalized peace agreement?
Well, the ministry had a plan, had developed a strategic plan with the clearly stipulated activities that would help the ministry realize its main objectives. And also, I would like to also recognize that His Excellency the President, when we had the meeting with him initially to seek his advice, he was very clearly to me that, Minister, you need to have some comparative studies with the countries that are federal, so that we learn from their challenges and then learn from how they make the federal system work effectively. And then so that we can also learn what type of a federal system would be appropriate for the people of South Sudan. And the second thing he also directed me was that it is important to educate the people of South Sudan, and that is the component which His Excellency directed me for, and that's why we designed the plan to visit states, and also our plan was even to visit counties, so that we explain to the people and then share this information to the people, so that they are aware of what when we talk about federal system, they should be able to know what it is actually. So So far, we have done some studies with the federal countries, and we also did visits to the states. Of course, we didn't cover the whole country, but at least through radio talk shows and then sometimes the television and all that, we have tried to explain to the people to understand that. The other important component which the ministry is strongly undertaking is to ensure that the federal system has to be reflected, has to be in the permanent constitution. We have the revitalized agreement stating clearly that the formation of the government, which is to implement the agreement, it has to end the transition by establishing the permanent constitution. And the permanent constitution, one of its key components is this constitution must be a federal constitution. And once we have the federal constitution, and then it will usher the people of South Sudan to have free, fair, and credible elections. So for that reason, the ministry designed, we worked out on a plan to convene a national conference on federalism. And but then the national conference on federalism, the ministry, after all the studies that we have done, we felt that we have already produced a federal policy, which is already passed by the parliament. Now the ministry worked on a blueprint, which actually outlined the structure, and the design and the components of the of what a federal system would look like. And we thought that it will be good that during the conference, the national conference, people discuss some of the elements that are the components that are in the blueprint. So far the ministry have completed the blueprint, and is now right now under printing and all that, which is already out. And we're waiting if the conference would be there and people will share it. But for the time being, people start now, will start sharing it with the public so that people know what type of a federal system we wanted to see in the Republic of South Sudan.
Right. And now, based on public views, on your consultations in some parts of the country and in the states, so what kind of federalism do people want? I mean, you've been interacting with them directly, so how would you describe the type of federalism that it's a kind of a popular demand by the people of South Sudan? I understand it is not going to be the final decision. You're not the one to make the decision, but based on your interaction with the people on the ground, what do they want? Which kind of, or what type of federalism are they talking about? Or maybe you can again tell us the types of federalism that are available for us here in the country that we can adapt.
Well, I think it is something that a number of people always have been asking. If you look at the federal policy, which is passed by the parliament, it states very clearly what type of federal system that we are adopting. We are not going to adopt a tribal or ethnic or some federal system that will create more division and all that. But we wanted to reflect the realities that are stipulated in the revitalized peace agreement, that we need a federal system that reflects the realities of the people of South Sudan. So South Sudan is a diverse country in terms of ethnic disparities and all that. And South Sudan is highly diverse in terms of its geography, even the livelihood. Differ from one area to another, from one state to another. So the type of federal system that we wanted is that which can hold us together and strengthen our unity. And specifically with the different types of federal system, we actually realize that you can name it. You can have what they call dual system, cooperative system, and others. But then the most important, after our studies, after the ministry studies and all that we have done, and given the realities of the people of South Sudan, we wanted a cooperative type of a federal system for the people of South Sudan. A system that actually different levels of government can be able to cooperate, not working independently as far as a dual federal system would concern. So we do not want so much a dual system whereby states or the local government, like the counties, becomes completely independent, but they should be able to cooperate between different levels of government. So that is the type of federal system that we as a ministry have recommended, and is the best system for the Republic of South Sudan.
And now, after the consultation, when do we expect the conference, let's say, to be held at the national level?
You know, the conference had been, it's a project that I presented in the cabinet, in the Council of Ministers, and it was approved since 2023. And we actually should have conducted it since that time, before even December of 2023. Unfortunately, due to lack of funding from the Ministry of Finance, we were unable to conduct it. And some partners have expressed views that they can be able to support, but then they wanted the support from the government first, and then from there they'll move forward to support the conference. Now, the conference, we actually still hope that it will be done. The idea of the conference is basically to bring governors and to bring some specific institutions from the states, like the ministers of finances, the minister of local government, so that they have an idea what it means. Because when we're talking about federal system devolving powers, these are key institutions that need to know their roles, and then also service ministries, so that they know that at the federal level, you should be able to know what your role is. You should not be able to interfere with the states, because the states are the implementing institutions, and then also the local government, the county level. So we expected commissioners as well, and then also executive directors in the county level, so that all of us should be able to be in the same wavelength in terms of understanding what the federal structure would look like, and then how it will usher in peace and stability, and effectively move this country to a prosperous development.
So there's no specific date, like when it's going to happen. It requires, I mean, it boils down to the issue of resources.
Sure, yeah, it basically boils down. We have actually done all the plan, and everything is in place, only that we do not have the funding.
And now the content of the blueprint, what does it entail? What is inside there, and when are we expecting this to be disseminated to the people of South Sudan in general?
Well, it's actually the blueprint is very clear, because the blueprint actually gives you the outline of the design and the structure, and also the components of the federal system that will be enshrined in the constitution, and then will be for the people of South Sudan. Now, when you look at the blueprint, you have basically basic information to the background. What we're talking about, the background of the why the people of South Sudan wanted a federal system of government in the Republic of South Sudan, and that's what the blueprint first tried to explain to the people. That's the historical background of South Sudan, and then why we wanted a federal system, and then it also outline the federal structure, how it looks like, and also it outlines the institutional design of the federal system which will look like in the constitution. And there's also another chapter that is dedicated to power sharing arrangement, in terms of how powers will be shared from the federal government, the state government, and the counties. And then one of the chapters is also dedicated to revenue and fiscal federalism. So how do we share revenues from different levels of the three levels of the government. And then another chapter also we have dedicated to intergovernmental relationship, which actually address the issue of the type of federal system. That's why we said the best type of a federal system we wanted to see in the Republic of South Sudan should not be ethnic, but should be cooperative, a cooperative type, so that people cooperate. So that's why the intergovernmental relations is very, very essential. A chapter is dedicated to that. And we have also a chapter that actually highlights key institutions and resources related to effective function of federal system. Now in that we talk about, we highlighted basic human rights, for the federation, we also talk about the structure of the capital city, and then of the federal republic, and then we talk about federal character commission, which is very crucial. We highlighted that because it is that which will balance the issue of employment and the involvement in public offices and all that. We need a federal character commission because of that we have the resemblance of all South Sudanese in any institution and all that. And we also highlighted issues on how youth can contribute in the development, the national youth services and all that. How does it look like in the federal system? We talked about that. And then also we highlighted issues about language and then land, resources, states, the counties. We talked about also law enforcement, which is very crucial in the different levels, and then the military. A question that will remain for the Constituent Assembly, which will be reconvened after the development of the Constitution, will be the issue of nomenclature. The nomenclature is the name of the republic. Whether people would like to change the name to become like Federal Republic of South Sudan or Republic of South Sudan or whatever. For me personally, I think the issue of the nomenclature is not very crucial because you can still have the Republic of South Sudan, which is federal. So there are countries that change, that wanted to reflect that in their name.
Yeah,
but
like Ethiopia, for example.
Yeah, Ethiopia did that, and then also Nigeria and others. But then we go to other countries, they actually don't reflect their
system,
names.
But then they don't have to mention
it exactly. So that is not very important for us, but that is important. We also highlight in the blueprint, and we say that the National Constitution Review Commission will debate on that, and they bring that to the public, and particularly to the Constituent Assembly when they will sit to discuss about the Constitution.
Right. And Honorable Minister, what happens to this process? Because it has been delaying, and I understand resources one of the main challenges or hindering this process to conclude. What happens if the country goes for elections in December 2026 as agreed upon by parties to the revitalized peace agreement? What happened to all this process before it can conclude, and then we go for elections? Where do you see the future of all this process if we go for elections before it concludes?
No, I think we've now concluded everything. As far as the ministry is concerned, the role of the ministry is we have actually done what is requested, and we have actually met what we call the objective of the ministry in terms of now having a blueprint, and the conclusion is supposed to have the conference. But now that in an event that there will be difficulties in conducting the conference, and we still wanted the elections to take place, we can only go to the election once we have the permanent constitution. We actually need a permanent constitution. The permanent constitution is the one that will give the elections a headway. So having said that, I think I don't see any difficulties because 2026 is not very far, but still we have enough time actually to produce the constitution, which is a federal constitution. We have enough time for that.
And also, based on your observation, I also want you to share with us your assessment, Honorable Minister, on the political will to adapt the federal system of governance. You went to the states, you interacted directly with the people, but also you sit at the high table at the national government here in Juba. So how would you assess the political will for the country really to adopt this federal system of governance here?
The political will is very high. I have to say that because in any country you need, first of all, the head of the state, who is the president, is one who you can gauge the political will from, and the president was very clearly that we need to implement the federal system and all that. I think the only fear sometimes are individual who are who have negative views and all that. And given the fact that, the definition of the word federal system in the Republic of South Sudan did not start now, but it started a long time ago. So there were also a misinterpretation of the word itself, where sometimes, they call me sometimes Kokora, Minister of Kokora.
Minister of Kokora.
Minister of Kokora and all that. So you see, it has been there. So this kind of dissent views and all that, I've interacted with a number of them, and they're very positive in terms of understanding what a federal system is all about. The problem is just misunderstand the misconception of the terminology, which His Excellency the President made very clear to me. He said, there's misconception. There are some people who do not understand and misinform the public. So that's why he actually recommended that it's important for me to educate the people and interact with the people. And that is the reason why the issue of sensitization and all that came out very strongly in our strategic plan. We have tried to do that, but of course, due to lack of funding and the challenges of resources, we were not able to go to all the states as we had planned earlier. But my assessment and with all what we have done, it's very clear that the people of South Sudan all actually are for a federal system of government. And His Excellency the President has been very clear on that, and we're happy. I was actually so motivated when I had a meeting with him, and he actually encouraged me to get this done.
Right.
Yeah.
And finally, Honorable Minister, what role can media play also to support the ministry, or in general in regard of disseminating or fighting this disinformation and misinformation about federalism, and the importance of the coordination between the ministry and stakeholders, and also the media, to ensure that public receive this information correctly and accurately?
Yeah, I will say that that is a very, very important question and a very important concern. I think we have not done much in terms of sensitizing the public, and also using the media in order to educate the people about the federal system. And there are challenges away. And as I said, we had some challenges which of course need to be overcome. Now I will really recommend that we have the federal policy, which was passed by the parliament, which is already out, a public document. I think the most important thing is to have this to the public domain. And then also, now that we have the blueprint, it will be in the public, so that this is the document that will guide the people, so that we avoid misconceptions. Because the biggest challenge that the ministry realized was the misconception of the term federal system. So there are people who actually misplace the word, and then have different interpretation on that, and to achieve their personal interest and all that. But then when you look at the word itself, and then what it means, it is for the benefit of the people, and the people actually like it. That's why I said, when I went to states, and I went to a number of occasions, and explaining to them what a federal system is all about, and then also the structure of the federal system, the design and all that, they are very positive. And I have to tell you one thing. I went to Northern Baragazal, and then I had a paramount chief. After explaining, the paramount chief stood up and told us that, if that is what you are saying, that's what we wanted here, so that we develop. So you see that kind of, it is just misinformation. There are people who sometimes go around and then telling people it's Kokora, and then has a negative connotation of what Kokora is all about. But the reality is that this is a system which actually devolves powers and resources, so that resources are not only consumed in the capital city, not only consumed in the state cities. It has to go. These resources have to go to the to the counties, and the counties, not only in the counties, towns, but then it has to go to the Payams, and then go to the Bomas. So we need to have schools, good schools in those areas, not only having it in Juba. So
and
I think that's all
idea
about
of
federal
taking
system.
town to the people.
Excellent. That's what actually late Dr. John Gereng was emphasizing, that we wanted a country whereby instead of villagers or people from the villages coming to town, the rural-urban migration, we must turn that to have urban-rural migration, which is taking towns to the villages, to the people. So it is very important to know that. So that is where people, I think the media can play a very critical role in that. to tilt the mind of the people.
Right. Honorable Lasuba Wongo, National Minister of Federal Affairs, thank you very much for passing by and speaking to iRadio. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
yes,
and
thank
wish
you
you all the best. Thank you.